Welcome to Love Bytes, the show where we debug romance. Now, I am not a doctor. I am not a psychiatrist.
I am not a patient.
I don't have a degree in sociology or psychology, but what I do have is wealth of experience and a sincere desire to help you. Because sometimes love can get messy. And sometimes, if you're not careful, love bites. Welcome to Love Bites, everybody. We are here with our guest, Julian. Julian, please introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I'm Julian. That's all you really need to know.
Even though the overlay says Kayla to Nukes, this is actually Julian. I just completely didn't see that until right now. We can leave that be.
Wow.
Sorry, buddy. Julian, give us a little more information about yourself. Who are you?
I am an esports personality. I mainly go with League of Legends. Yeah, I play Mafia on Wednesdays with you guys. Met Neil about IPL
3, 4,
something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. IPL 6 that didn't happen.
Yeah, we met at IPL 6.
I played a lot of Mafia.
A lot of Mafia. Always Mafia, basically.
Yeah, I'm never Mafia. Neil's always
Right.
Mafia.
Right. So, we're just going to jump straight into today's episode with a good question that Julian's going to start us off with. Julian, how do I be a wingman?
Wingmaning. Okay. Wingmaning is not for everybody because everybody ultimately. How do I say that? It doesn't. It's an art. It's the best way to put it. No, I'm just kidding. As a wingman, you kind of have to put everybody else, your friend, before you. So it's mainly about getting them what they want and putting yourself second. So whether it's hyping them up, talking to a girl or ladies, talking to a guy, being like, oh, blah blah blah, he's a doctor and he's a pimp or whatever Neil does. So if I'm like helping Neil out, I'm like, yeah, my friend Neil, and we're at like an esports event because that's probably the only time we'll ever be together. This is my friend Neil.
I have faith.
From roleplay. You might see it on Sunday nights. No, it's about putting yourself second as opposed to putting yourself first, like most people tend to do.
All right. Okay. Well, I've had almost no experience being a wingman. The little experience I have has been theoretical discussions where my older brother is continuously single and is trying not to be. And so I've offered to help him play up the, oh, here's my little brother card, isn't it cute? I'm a family guy sort of thing. So those are the sorts of thing you can kind of do, like generate discussion that makes your friend or whoever it is that you're wingmanning look good, cast them in a favorable light. And it's more than just like, necessarily trying to get someone laid. There's more to it than that. The concept behind wingmanning is really trying to support someone in an effort where it's not always easy. Like, it's not just about, you can be like Julian's a great guy, but Julian might have trouble with ladies just because he's socially awkward sometimes, So if I were Julian's wingman, I would be there to like help ease him through the social awkwardness, or vice versa, right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
I would say that the people who are more socially awkward need a little bit more help. Whether it's approach, a lot of the time, if you're just yourself, most of the time they like you or they dislike you, and that's all it really comes down to. If you're just yourself, what I see most people have the problem is the approach.
Describe the approach.
It's basically just being able to approach someone, being able to like approach whether it's a guy, whether it's a girl, whether it's making new friends, or whether it's trying to be a little bit more romantic. It's being able to walk up to someone confidently without coming off like egotistical or mean or anything like that. It's basically, or without like a stupid line. It's just being yourself. It's being able to walk up to a girl at the bar and be like, hi, how are you? Are you good? Good. And like, my name is blah, and can I buy you a drink? If they say no, walk away. If they say yes, buy them a drink, and you just start with a normal conversation.
So is the official Julian stance on pickup lines, don't use them?
I'm not a big fan of pickup lines. I think that they're very cliched and they don't really help you in the long run. You know,
Okay.
sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's just funny. Sometimes, if you got dared to go walk up to a girl and use the worst pickup, like, oh yeah, does your back hurt? Why when you fell from heaven? And then you just get like punched in the face or something awful happens.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of those lines.
All right. Well, that's how you guys be a wingman. Look out for your friend, support them, don't use pickup lines. Question number two. Is it weird that I have transitioned from being a fun, caring, really nice guy to a more mysterious, serious, one track minded person due to the experiences I got from trying to get girlfriends? Um, I'll take the point on this one. It's not really weird. Kind of growing up makes you a little bit more serious, um, and one tracked. Really, that's just kind of like what happens as you get older. So don't sweat it too much, but don't let your fun, carefree, relaxed attitude disappear. You don't you don't want that. The my question really is: you said mysterious, serious, one-track mind due to the experience you get from getting girlfriends. The rest of the quote, which isn't here necessarily, uh, in there he says that it's because when he's dealing with girls, that's what they seem to react to, rather than being fun and carry and really really nice. I don't really know how to comment on that. Like that's kind of just a situational basis, it seems. Julian, do you have any do you know why girls might be more attracted to mysterious, serious, one-minded people rather than fun, caring, really nice guys?
I usually think to the fun, caring, nice guys. It's not a bad trait to have or a bad trait to lose necessarily, because he says that he transitioned from being that, and now he's like more mysterious and serious.
Hmm.
I don't think you should like necessarily transition everything. I think that I think that that's a good quality to have. I think being fun and caring and a nice guy is a good quality thing to have. I don't think that that's always needed at the beginning, because the main thing you need is the second part is they women for some reason like the whole mysterious guy look. They don't like to know everything immediately. They like discovering things. So
Discovery is good.
I think being mysterious and being serious is good when it's needed to be, but being fun and caring isn't necessarily bad. I think all those qualities are great. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of when you decide to show them.
The second part of that, he says, I will add that when the women get to know me more, I reveal a bit of my old self and really only use the new me as a starter. Which, I think kind of says something to Julian's point where you don't really want to always do that, You don't necessarily always want to start off in the same way, right?
Yeah, I mean, being like I said, it all comes with the approach. Being able to be mysterious, being able to you know have a little bit having a little bit of fun side to you. Being fun and mysterious isn't bad. Having those two qualities at the beginning isn't bad at all. Showing that you're a fun person makes them want to hang out with you a little bit more. Being mysterious, being not really revealing anything about yourself, makes them want to get to know you a little bit better, and having fun in the process.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. I hope that has answered your question. If not, send a follow up and we'll get to you there. Question number three. Is it okay for me to talk about previous sexual partners with my current partner? Julian.
No.
All right. All right.
um,
No.
I
No,
don't think
people,
so.
don't do that. Is there any
No, it's not.
situation where it might be acceptable?
I would say no either way. Um, girls, it goes both ways because girls don't want to hear about the girls that you slept with, and guys don't want to hear about the guys that you slept with. It's in a sense we're all with if they've had previous relationships and you're not the first person they've ever been with. You basically kissed and done everything with all those other people. So why do you want to know that?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, in theory, if you have like a really good relationship and everything's going on well, and you like have been dating for a long time, it's something that you should be able to discuss with the other person. But no one really likes being reminded about it. Like if you just want to talk about previous sexual partners, like, oh yeah, like we had a thing once upon a time, like that's kind of an acceptable thing. But no one wants to be like, well, see, I was dating this guy and or this girl, and they really liked doing things in this way, where I would do that, and then we would do this over here. Like that's too much information. Like no one wants that mental picture of themselves and someone else. Like that's awful. And especially like if you've previously dated something like League of Legends players or Dota 2 players, no one wants to hear that. It's like disgusting. If it's one thing to have dated StarCraft players, but fucking LoL players or Dota players. I mean, come on, who plays MOBAs, right?
Oh
Right?
wow.
Julian, who plays MOBAs?
Wow.
I mean, the only thing worse than a MOBA player is a World of Tanks player, right?
I'm glad I don't play that stupid game.
Speaking of which, SC2 ratings is going to expand into World of Tanks pretty soon, guys. So,
Well, I heard that SC2 ratings is expanding into League of Legends as well.
yeah, SC2 ratings is expanded a bunch of things. But, StarCraft is where it's at, guys. StarCraft's where it's at. I'm sorry, what were we talking about? Is it
Uh,
okay for me to talk about sexual partners with my current partner? Oof.
See, I think that if they want to know, then that's them. You know what I mean? If your significant other asks you like, how many people have you been with before me? Obviously, like, I, I'm always a big fan of not lying, like being completely truthful, whether it's about a number or whether it's about really anything. So I'd think that if they ask you how many people you've been with and you've been with five others, you should just tell them straight up, I've been with five other people.
Yeah.
Now, if you walk by someone like if you see someone on the street and you're with your significant other and you start talking with them, oh, it's good to see you, blah blah blah, and then you walk away and you're like, I fucked that thing.
Don't do that, guys.
Don't do that.
Girls don't do that
'Cause
either. That's
exactly it puts a certain insecurity on the other person,
yeah.
and they start to compare themselves to that person. Am I better looking? Am I blah blah blah? And it's just not a good thing.
No. No.
If I mean, I'm sure everybody who's in a relationship or has been in a relationship and that's happened, it doesn't feel good. So, and the best thing you don't want to make them feel bad.
Right. Right. I mean, so I think I think the best answer for this is if the other person asks about it, then it's okay, but don't just jump into that conversation. Like there's some things you kind of need to jump into. Like if you're going to propose to someone, you have to fucking cannonball in. You can't be like, putting one toe at a time, like bring out a box, but then talk about it, and then open the box, but like, well, hold on, I'm not proposing. Like, if you're going to propose, you jump in. But you don't just jump in being like, by the way, I slept with A, B, C, D, and your mom, and B, C. You don't do that. You kind of like that's a situation where you feel it out and you do like a lot of subtext and beating around the bush until you're sure that they're comfortable with that conversation. Like if you need to talk to them about something, if it's important, like, hey, by the way, I just heard from so and so that they're HIV positive and I slept with them. We need to have a conversation. That's okay. But like if you just want to be like, hey, so I used to do this thing with my ex and it was really fun. Can we do that? Like, don't fucking say I did it with my ex. Don't
Yeah,
do that, guys. Don't do that. But you know,
I'll tell you this. In my previous experiences with one of my exes used to talk all the time about the guy she dated, and I hated it. Personally, I was like, dude, like I don't like being compared. I'm my own individual person. I don't I don't think I should be compared to this person, but she constantly did it, and it's one of the worst things that I've ever felt.
yeah,
So I would say, don't do it. Why would you want to make that person feel terrible or bad?
yeah,
And if they're doing this to you and you don't like it, just come out and say it. I don't like when you talk about your exes. It makes me feel terrible. And if they have any sort of heart towards you or love you or care about you, they'll stop.
yeah,
If they continue to do it, they obviously either need to tell them again or they don't care.
yeah. It's all about communication.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, let's bump up to the next one. This is a long one, guys.
Oh, Jesus.
Whew. I feel my biggest problem is that I act totally different around girls than I do around guys. I'm probably too nice. I know that sounds pretty full of myself, but I'll counter by saying that around my male friends, I'm pretty much a dick 24/7. Sounds like Julian. Around girls though, I always instantly become the nicest, most respectful person I possibly can. It's the way I'm brought up. This seems to have landed me hard in the friend zone with multiple girls that I'm frankly attracted to. Well, here's we'll talk about this one for a while, and we'll take turns. I'll give my opinion, Julian will give his opinion, and then we'll kind of like come back together. So, my opinion on this one is if you are just being a nice guy and like always there to support, the girl will never get to know who you are. Like if your only function around them is being respectful and polite and really nice, which I'm not saying you shouldn't, but like they're never going to know who you are and they're never going to be interested in you because they don't know you. You know, you're that support, you're that person that's there, and they you wind up being more of like a you wind up not being yourself. And they how are they supposed to know you or even like you if all you do is just be support. I mean, it's not bad to be supportive, but at a certain point, constant support just becomes condescension or becomes useless. You actually have to be your own person. You have to say, hey, can we not talk about your problems? I have my own issue. Or, hey, check out this thing about me that you didn't know. Like, you can't just be support. That's boring. That's not interesting. That's really lame. You're you're a boring person. You're boring to them if all you do is be 100% supportive. You need to be your own person. I'm definitely not saying be a dick to girls because some guys take that approach. They're like, "Oh, well, I'll be a dick to a girl so that she'll like wonder why and she'll be insecure and then she'll fall for me," sort of thing. Like that's an approach that pickup artists use, but then you're a douche and a jerk. No one likes that. So that's my approach. Julian, how do you feel about this?
I think that you shouldn't be acting different around everybody. I think that there isn't a problem being a nice person, but I don't think there's a problem necessarily being yourself. If you're a dick around your friends all the time, then and you're not the same way to a girl, and vice versa, then you need to figure that out. You need to figure out how to bring those two together. I don't necessarily condone being a dick to a girl or uh, at all, but I don't think I think being too nice is also even though it's on the opposite side of the spectrum. I think that it's you're doing the same thing. You're pushing them away. I think that if you are the one thing I believe is that if you are too nice to a girl, you will be friend zoned immediately. Uh, if you're always around and you're always willing to do stuff for them, you will be friend zoned immediately. The reason for that is because they don't. A lot of people don't, and it goes the same thing with girls. If you're always there, then there's nothing for them to look forward to. You're always there. They don't have to work for anything. So why would they want to not work for anything for the rest of their life when you're just going to get walked all over? So being nice isn't a bad thing, but being yourself, and if you're a dick around your friends, then that's okay. Just be yourself, dude. Like that's the bottom line.
Yeah, be
It,
yourself.
it's nowadays it's like and one thing, don't always think that this girl is like I'm going to be in a relationship with this girl. I want to be in a relationship. Don't always have that mentality. Just the best thing you could possibly do is be friends with a girl before you're in a relationship with them, so they see how you truly are and they realize you're a good person, and the relationship will last a lot longer. If you go straight into you straight, uh, start dating immediately, and you're not friends before then, most likely it's not going to end in the greatest way.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, I think what you said about being yourself is really keen here because if you're just being nice, you're not being who you really are. Like if you actually are a dick 24/7, like if how you act with your guys is who you really are, then you're kind of lying to them by just being nice. And the other thing is if you're just being nice, you are you actually being nice or are you being a pushover? No one likes a pushover. No one likes someone who is, you know, doesn't have self-respect and can't stand up for themselves. And if that's what you're being, that's a possibility. There's a line. It can be hard to judge whether you're just being a nice guy or where you're being kind of a pushover. So be careful there.
yeah, and being respectful to women is really like I'm 100% believer that chivalry isn't dead, and being very chivalrous is different than being just nice. Um, Now, being nice to your friends is also a good thing. Being a dick to them and isn't is not how you keep your friends. So I have a hard time believing that you're a dick to your friends 24/7 without a little bit of that niceness slipping in. Because I know I don't keep my friends, if they're dicks to me, I just walk away. I know that's how most people are nowadays. So I think that there's a piece of that niceness is around your friends more than you probably think.
Hmm. Yeah. All right. I think we've done that one justice. Let's hop on to this. Um, this is actually a follow-up question to the previous one. Is the solution to just wait for the right girl? Is it likely that I haven't just met her yet? I'm 19 and starting university in a little over 2 months. Do I just sit tight until then and hope it all fixes itself? Julian, you want to take point?
All right. There is no solution to just wait for the right girl or go out and find it. The best way that you could do this is just living your life. You're 19 years old. You're going to the university here pretty soon. College is probably one of the best places to find a significant other or just hang out and meet people. And you'll probably end up keeping those people around your life for the rest of your life. They'll be your friends. They'll be your work colleagues. The people who you hang out with on, you know, do shows with on the internet with a girl's name above yours. That's how you're gonna meet a lot of those people. I don't sit tight and just like hang out, man. Live your life. You're too young to be thinking about like needing a girlfriend constantly.
Yeah.
Um, or you could just quit school and just go to bars constantly. That's also another option. I wouldn't condone it, but
Yeah,
you can do that
that's.
too.
I mean,
You come
so
hang out with me and Neil at an esports event. We'll help you out.
we'll help you out with all of the girls that attend esports events, all the
Yeah, dude, we'll
hundreds of
get you like
thousands
one
of
of the three.
them. Yeah. Um, there we go. We fixed the overlay, so now it says Julian.
That's the worst overlay I've ever
You know
seen in
what?
my
The other
entire
option is
life.
opening Photoshop right now, and I'm not going to open Photoshop and change it in the middle. So there you go. Now we got Julian going.
Oh my god.
All right.
I feel like I'm on
Um,
PBS.
hey, PBS is great, dude. Don't just PBS. I wish I could be PBS. Um, you know what? You're 19. You're about to hit university. Just as you said, don't sweat it. Like I didn't start dating anybody until basically I was out of high school, or I didn't get anywhere with any girls until well after that. Don't sweat it. It's not a big deal. And really, like, it's less about finding a girlfriend. Like, the objective isn't get a relationship. It's not like, oh, I need a job. Any job will do. Let me get a job. If you're approaching a relationship, it's like, I just need a relationship. You're gonna, it's never gonna work out because then you don't care and then you don't really respect the people you're with. You're not choosing them for any particular reason. Um, so don't start looking for any relationship. Make friends with females, make friends with males, and then when you find someone who you really like and who makes you feel unsteady and who makes you question everything that you say and do around them, and when you feel really awkward and like you can't do anything else, then you go and then you ask them out, or you don't, and you pussyfoot around like a LoL player wanting to transition to StarCraft.
Why would they transition into a dead game? Please explain this to me.
You know what? They wouldn't transition to a dead game. They'd transition to StarCraft, the best
Wow.
game. LoL's not gonna last, buddy. LoL's not gonna last.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars. Yeah, I'm sorry. StarCraft has a better infrastructure. StarCraft over
Oh,
LoL.
you know what? This is about relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can
And I think
debate
your
about this on
relationship
a
and my
separate day.
relationship is suffering because of the LoL playing, and we need to communicate about this further. Communication's a
Like
staple
someone
of a
would communicate
relationship
with a
here.
team, like the four other players on their team, and not just themselves. So you're very selfish, Neil Erickson.
You know what? StarCraft teams have a lot of players. Chat. What do you think? LoL or StarCraft? Spam it in
This
chat. LoL
isn't
or
fair.
StarCraft?
This isn't fair.
Warcraft 3. What?
Wow. We can all agree that Mafia
StarCraft.
is the
Thank
best
you.
game and that we should go pro here
Yeah,
pretty
we,
soon.
we should go pro. We should go pro. Um, but for realsies, LoL's not that bad. LoL players are pretty cool. I've met a few cool LoL players out there, like Julian. Um,
There was I was gonna tell. All right, so there's a story. Here's a story about that's sort of around the same lines about this question. I have a really good friend who I met in high school, and very much like me and most of my friends in high school, a little bit after like pre-college, a little awkward. Played video games, hung out, and just sort of did our thing. He went to school to be an engineer, and I want to say he never had a girlfriend before, but exactly what Neil said. He just kind of did his thing, worked it out, went to class, met a girl, and now he's getting married. He's getting married at the end of August, in which I get to go and hang out and drink for free.
Sweet.
Uh, but he did exactly. He was just himself. He was, he learned his hobbies. When it came the right time, he asked her. She said yes, and they'd been dating since 2 years into their college career. They both graduated with high honors. They both have engineering degrees. Now they both live together. They have careers, and they they're gonna live. They did everything right. Like that's the one thing a lot of people don't look at is uh, focus on getting your life on track because the last thing you want is to be tied down. If you're having a girlfriend or having a boyfriend or significant other or whatever it is sort of ties you down a little bit. You want to be able to do like these. You want to be able to do these things. It sort of in a way limits you to do all the things you probably want to do. I could tell you that three different people who I know who can't go to like esports events or travel or anything like that because their significant other just doesn't really care about it. And
Yeah.
so they don't want to make them feel awkward or like they don't want to spend time with them. So, what are they going to do? They're going to give up that. So
I mean, are you
if you
saying that
like,
people should never get into relationships? That
no, not at all. I'm saying that, I'm saying that working on yourself and figuring out what you like, whether it's video games or whether, StarCraft, LoL, whatever you want to do with your life, you'll find someone who wants to do the same thing. And if they that's what's going to be the great thing. Wouldn't you love to just go to when's the next MLG? Columbus and just hang
Columbus.
out there for a weekend with the girl that you like and be able to watch StarCraft, League of Legends, hopefully not Call of Duty, and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I think we can agree on that one.
I mean, like even and then, wouldn't you want to? Don't you want to travel the world or um, be able to hang out with your friends or be able to just sit on at home on a Friday night and watch me and Neil talk about you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just it's something that
Yeah.
I think that if you sit back and wait and just live your life and focus on you, they will come along.
So yeah, I mean, I agree. I completely agree. You don't want to be looking for any given relationship. You don't want like the objective isn't relationship. The objective is finding someone who you like, who then will lead to a relationship. I mean, relationship is like part of the path. It's not the end goal. If having a relationship is the end goal, then once you get there, you're going to be stuck with nothing else to do. So don't look for generic relationship. Look for something deeper. Look for someone who you can go to esports events with. Look for someone who you can do fun things with, and then you'll get into a relationship with them. So that's the objective.
And
So
a lot of the time, you'll if you've ever been to an esports event or not just an esports event, any sort of convention, whoa, um, you might find someone there. Like the whole like being able like I said with the wingman thing or the approach or anything like that is being able to sit down and be able to talk to someone next to you. I can't tell you how many friends I've made just going to an esports event by myself. Or, most of the people I know in esports are from IPL5, Barcraft, uh, MLG. I've met so many people and I
mhm,
consider they're all friends and it gets me further into the world.
yeah. Okay, so we're about halfway done. We're gonna take a quick break and be right back. All right, guys, be right back. We should be coming back any moment now. Okay, and we are back live with Julian and Neil for Love Bites, second part of episode 3. So, moving on to the next question. My friend has been dating a girl for 2 years now. After hanging out with her a couple of times, I started to like her. They broke up about a month ago. Would it be appropriate to make a move on her? How long should I wait before making a move on her? Um, buddy. So, so there, I jokingly, there's this thing called the bro code. If you ever watch How I Met Your Mother, you should get a copy of it. But yeah, so really, I, I, I don't really know what to say. If the girl's wife material, then don't hesitate. But like, if this is your friend, right? You've been dating. This is your friend for God knows how long. Um, and he dated a girl fairly. 2 years is a long time. Okay, 2 years is a long, long time. If you're gonna like just hop on that, you're gonna have some problems with your friend. Um, I would say if you, without asking permission, just jumping on that, you're gonna lose your friend 100%. So you got to take that risk. Is the girl worth more than your friend? If so, go for it. If not, what the fuck are you thinking, dude? I don't let your little head think for your big head, bro. Brah, Bohemian. Julian, talk some sense into this kid.
Uh, I, I I read chat, which is a big mistake, and
Uh-oh.
Maverick, you're an asshole.
Maverick. Maverick
He
says
should
he.
immediately sleep with her. This is the greatest advice that we could possibly give.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I actually agree with Neil 100%. I think that 2 years is a very long time. 1 month is a very short time, and personally, I would never want to sleep with something that my friend slept with.
Yeah. Well.
It's it's weird. I don't I don't ever condone that. I think that if you really feel like that there's nothing better out there, then wait, because the fact that you should talk to him. You should be like, I feel really I like her a lot, but I don't think it's worth it. Uh,
I mean, yeah.
High risk, low reward.
Like, if you talk to your friend and he's like, I'm done with her, I want nothing to do with her ever, ever again, go for it, it's all yours, then go for it. But realize that he just gave like a condemnation of this girl. Like, he just made it sound like she was the worst person in the world. Why would you want to go after that? So, blanketly, the answer is no. Like, there might be occasional reasons why you would do it, but no. Like, what? No. If you care about your friend, no. He
I
clearly
wouldn't
they
touch her.
broke up. So if he broke up with her, there's probably a reason she's probably not very good. So no. If she broke up with him, he's probably still into her. So no. Do you want the person you're dating to constantly be comparing you to your previous friend all the time? Where she'll be like, you'll know that everything that you're doing, she's already heard the opposite side of. And then you're going to be getting all this crap from her about your friend and like how shitty their relationship. Like it's a terrible, terrible situation. No, please don't do this.
If you do this, I will be very disappointed.
Don't do it.
I won't be mad.
I mean,
Be
maybe if
disappointed.
yeah, we'll be disappointed. Maybe if you had like some better context for this, but I can't actually think of any context where this would be a good idea, unless you didn't care about the friend, in which case you wouldn't have listed him as your friend. So, no, dudes, no, no.
Like 2 years is so long.
2 years
A
is a
month
long
is too
time.
short. Uh, would it be appropriate to make no? How long should I wait before making a move on her? You shouldn't make a move on her. If you feel that, all right, tell you what, give it a year, come back to it. If you still feel the same way, then talk to him.
All right, Julian.
But
What if the two people had only been dating for 6 months? Could you have done it then?
no,
At what point? How long? How short of a period of time do you have to date where you could ask her out?
a month, 2 months
A
at the
month or two
most.
months, and then you could
Yeah,
go for it.
because I think once the label's put on it, it works a little bit differently. Because there's a significant difference in dating and being someone's boyfriend or girlfriend,
Hmm.
or significant other. If you guys are dating, then it's more casual. If you guys are exclusively dating, it's still casual. Once that label's been thrown on it, that's when everything starts to get a little bit more serious. So I highly doubt that they dated for um less, or like I don't think they casually dated for 2 years. I think that there was a label put on it. He was her boyfriend, she was his girlfriend, and I think that when that label is put onto it, it makes everything that much harder.
Yeah.
I mean, I've dated girls for 6 months without putting a label on it, and then been able to just walk away from it and be fine.
Yeah, but
But
after
then I've
two
dated a
years,
girl, yeah. 2 years is it's too long, man. Like,
don't do it. No, no,
don't do it.
don't do it.
If you do it as your confidant, I say don't do it, and I will be very disappointed in you,
All right.
whoever sent this in.
All right. Moving on. I think my boyfriend might be cheating on me. What should I do? It's another doozy. I'll take the point on that. Or do you want to start? Do you want
I
to
just
start,
saw
Julian?
the link.
Yeah,
Uh,
that link's pretty good. Do you want to start, or should I start?
Um, yeah, you could start. I'll listen to what you have
All
to
right.
say.
So, if you're at the point where you think your boyfriend might be cheating on you, you're already in trouble. Um, because then clearly you either have some like huge miscommunication where his actions make it look like he's cheating on you and you don't feel like you can trust him, which is terrible. So you're already in trouble there. Or he actually is cheating on you and he's been lying about it and you're starting to catch on, in which case you're even more trouble. So at the point where you think your boyfriend's cheating on you, you guys have some serious problems already. Like you shouldn't that topic shouldn't even come up in a healthy relationship. So um, I would, if this was my situation, if it was my girlfriend cheating on me, I would talk. I wouldn't just come back and say, "Hey, I think you're cheating on me." You can't just like come out with these accusations outright. I would, if I thought she was cheating on me, like a certain friend of hers, I would say, "Hey, you and that guy are like really friendly. Tell me about you guys. Like, I feel a little uncomfortable with how much you guys hang out and talk." And I would try and like ease a conversation into not like I would try and talk about the topic as a whole, like talk about what it is that makes you feel like he's cheating on you. So if I feel uncomfortable because they keep going out to movies and shows together and keep coming back super drunk together at night, I'd be like, hey, you guys are doing all this stuff and it makes me feel uncomfortable. I feel like a little left out. I feel like, there might be something going on here. I wouldn't actually start with the accusation. Actually, that's terrible. Don't start with the accusation. Try and, because you could be wrong. If you're wrong and you accuse them of cheating, it's just going to blow up in your face. And if you're right and you accuse them of cheating, it's going to blow up in your face. So you're already in trouble in your relationship. You got to start working on your communication over time. Um, I would just really focus on communication. Julian, add something while I think about this some more.
Neil's a pimp, man. Neil's a pimp. I think he correct with that
Wow.
good body of his. Um, I think that the communication is low, and I think that if you think there's no like, you can't come out and be like, "Are you cheating on me?" I agree with Neil that like you need if it's someone who you think is like he said, if his girlfriend and was going out with someone else and they were just coming back drunk, I'd be like, "Whoa, this is I'm a little uncomfortable with that." But if there has to be something that he's done that makes you think that he's cheating on you,
Yeah.
I would talk to him about it. Um, don't just come out and say like, "Are you cheating on me?" But figure like come up with a good wording to like get him to maybe talk to you a little bit more. Depends
Yeah.
on how long this is going on to. How long is your relationship going on? Is it worth it?
Yeah, like yeah, clearly you're having some trouble, but communication is the backbone of every successful relationship. You can't get anywhere without having solid communication. So it's broken down somewhere. You got to figure out where it broke down, and you got to fix it.
And I really hope that I wish we could get more context on this question. So if you're watching and please email us back with a little bit more context because it's such a broad question that it's just like it's either what should you do? You should talk to him about it, like or figure something out, figure something out. Like what what I want to know is, what leads you to believe this, and I mean, seriously, what leads you to believe that he's going to be cheating on you?
Yeah. I mean,
Eh, there just needs to be a little bit more context, I feel.
yeah. But one way or the other, you guys are already in trouble. So good luck. Definitely communicate. Don't listen to people in chat. People in chat are kind of being ridiculous. Maverick, you're getting a timeout for saying that because that is don't Maverick, you're just being an actual dick. In fact, all of you guys are getting timeouts for like this is a serious question. Let's not be completely ridiculous. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next one.
Don't do anything drastic either. Don't just go out and cheat on him. Don't
No,
do
don't do
anything like
that.
stupid like that.
Communicate. Discussion. Discussion's the heart of everything. Okay. I am awful at being in a relationship, mostly because I have so little experience at it. I have no idea how to be romantic and figure out what my partner wants. Julian, go for it.
If you're awful at being in a relationship, don't try and be in a relationship. Just try to be friends with someone. You'll learn. You'll learn. So little, like you said, little experience. The only way to gain experience is being friends with someone. Being in a relationship is basically being attracted to that a friend. That's all it really is. So you treat him like your best friend, and then these romantic situations will come with time. There are very few people who like and very few people who can do those like spontaneous little things. One night a week, take her out, take him out to a movie, just being able to spend time with him, even if it's not the most romantic setting, like a picnic or anything like that. Just taking them to a movie and spending time with them, taking them out to dinner, listening to their day. It's a little bit more romantic than anything else you could probably do.
Yeah. I mean, really, if you shouldn't have to try. I mean, that's an awkward way of phrasing it, but you shouldn't if you're in a situation where you're not being romantic enough for your partner, then you guys are probably not either you don't like her or him enough to be romantic or they want more romance than you want. Some people are not the romantic type. Some people are kind of homebodies or, not they don't like the big shows of affection, while other people really, really love it. I once dated this girl who always loved the giant shows of affection. Like she wanted big, she wanted bouquets of flowers all the time, and that kind of wasn't me. I wasn't. That's not where I was, and it didn't work out. But then, you get with someone who you have equal expectations of romance, and you're set. Maybe both your expectations are super low, but maybe both neither of you really care about going out to big fancy dinners and getting like giant bouquets of flowers spontaneously. Then you're both happy. But then, I don't know.
I also think that these romantic gestures, they need to be on both ends. Like girls, it's not to say that we don't like giving you the flowers and doing these special things, but doing that to us isn't a bad option either.
Yeah, where's my
Uh,
flowers? Damn it!
yeah, I don't care about flowers or but if
No,
you
I
were to
want flowers and chocolates.
you
I want chocolate. Just give me the chocolates, okay?
just give Neil chocolate
Yeah,
and beer and he's good.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
if I was to come home and my girlfriend had a six pack a six pack of like homebrewed beer or something, or like a good beer just sitting there, and she's like, "I bought this for you." I'm like, "You're a goddess,
yeah.
great."
Romantic
And
gestures
then
cut both ways, guys.
exactly, and you
Yeah,
know what? There is such thing as doing it, overdoing it. You don't need to be bringing flowers 3 times a week, or 5 days out. 5 days out of the week, you're doing all these romantic gestures for it because it becomes too much, and then they feel like they can't do it back to you. So obviously, the big holidays are good, knowing your anniversary, or sometimes every Tuesday there isn't a problem with bringing her bring her flowers on a Tuesday. She's like, oh, it's because I love you. Blah blah blah.
yeah, yeah. Um, I had this friend. I'm going to leave her name out, but there was this guy that was really into her, and he did all these huge, grand romantic gestures all the time. He was fairly well off. He had a really nice job, so he like She never had dead flowers in her house. Like every week he set something up where someone would come and bring like new roses for her all the time. So the house was always filled with fresh roses, and he would like take her on these like helicopter rides over the city and like plan these extravagant like Las Vegas things. But she wasn't really into him, and she was like, "Wow, okay, that's a little much." And it never worked out. And eventually, she's like, "Fuck it, this is too much pressure. I don't want any of this stuff." So it's not about making the grand gestures. They're nice, but it's not about making, being over the top. It's about, finding someone with similar compatibility. So if you're awful at being in a relationship because you have no experience, don't fucking worry about it, dude. Don't worry about it. You just find a girl who you're friends with and don't even think about them as a girlfriend. Try and friend zone the girl. And if you can't friend zone the girl, then make her your girlfriend. Right? Like if you can't stand just being friends with her, if you can't not I don't know what am I trying to say, Julian? Unscrew me here.
Um, if you're just said friend zone a girl, try and friend zone a girl.
Yeah, if you
I
can't
think that
successfully friend zone her, then she's a keeper.
yeah, I think that if you are awful at being in a relationship, you have the little experience. Like I said before, I think that relationships are basically friendships, but you're attracted to that person. You're physically and emotionally attracted to that person. You have your friends because you care about them, and there's an emotional connection on some sort of level with your friends, right? This is just higher up. So you have experiences with friendships. You just transition that over into a relationship. Just because you're not good at the romantic part doesn't mean you can't be good at the relationship. That comes with time. You'll learn it. You can watch. I mean, watching movies isn't a bad option too. As stupid as it sounds, like you can go through and watch those like, for lack of a better term, chick flicks or romantic comedies or anything like that, and girls like that sort of thing. They like the flowers. They like the little dates or um, you know. I'll give you an idea. Just take on a Friday, take her out, buy her a rose, take her to a sandwich shop, get her sandwich, and go to the beach and just look at the beach. Or if you don't live near the beach, go on a hill somewhere and look over the.
Or if you don't live at the beach, move towards the beach. Why aren't you living
Yes.
near a beach?
Yeah. What's wrong with you?
Like, get out of the middle of nowhere, live on the coast or near a lake or a river. You have to live near a water source in life. That's a requisite.
Yeah, and to be honest, that's the going back to that other question. That's that whole 19 thing. You are moving somewhere completely different. There are tons of people you don't know. Like, getting out of the place that you're so comfortable in, that you know people in, is great because you learn to adapt. You learn to meet people out there. You learn to meet new. Maybe the girls don't like you here, but they might like you in Indiana, and you might find a super hot chick out there. And then you bring her back, and everybody's like, "Whoa, where'd you find her?" And you're like, "Indiana." Can you believe it?
Yeah. So I think we're at the point where we can take a couple questions from chat and a couple questions that have been emailed to us throughout the course of the night. But there's one which in chat that I want to address. It's Dengar22. What's your advice on approaching other guys as a guy? It's really tough finding someone openly gay. Well, that is a rough one. If you live in an area where guys are not openly gay, I would seek the online world. Gay dating online is a big thing. There's a lot of sites dedicated to it because it's so awkward, because it's so difficult to find someone openly gay. There's been a lot of things online for that sort of thing. If you if this is an option, I would go move to a city that's more gay friendly because you could be living somewhere where it's not acceptable, in which case you're kind of screwed. So I would move somewhere like San Francisco or New York or any big city. Julian, how do you pick up a guy?
Rude. I'm not gay.
Okay,
Uh,
but if you were, how would you go about picking up a guy?
I actually agree with Neil. I think it's very hard for me to answer that question because I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the way there's obvious. If I read in chat, that you don't really like bars. So I think the best option is online. Um, I don't know how you feel or anything like that. I can't really put myself in your shoes. So just answering it is very tough for me.
Hmm.
I think that, you know, um, I can't imagine how hard it might be, but
Yeah, it's
if,
got to be really rough. To
yeah,
That's got to be a really hard thing to do.
the way I could, I guess, the way I don't really know how to relate it to, but I remember when I was younger and going th like I didn't know how to really pick up on a girl at a bar or anything like that. I was very awkward, online, and that's the way I kind of feel. Like if you go online and you're able to put yourself out there on like some sort of site, and you might be able to find someone who is kind of like you online. You might, even if it's not a relationship, it might be a friendship or something like that. Getting to know the people who have the same similarities as you might lead to something in the future.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point.
And I'm
So
sorry about your parents.
yeah, I would definitely check out online dating. There's a really well developed scene online for gay guys because of this exact problem. So take a look at that. Use private mode or something if you still haven't come out to your parents or you don't want anyone else to know. If you have, then whatever. But I would check online because you'll be surprised. I haven't personally looked, but I've heard. I live in San Francisco. I have gay friends. Online's the place to go. Do it.
And
Here's a
props to you, sir.
Yeah, good for you. All right, here's a question I got from email. I'm in an interesting situation at the moment. Back in February, I asked one of my good friends, female, to prom in person. She said yes, and then the next night said no, saying how she wanted to go to prom with someone else she can be more than friends with. My dad told me to just blow it off and ignore her. However, her ex, being one of my friends' temptation, got to the better of me, and I was occasionally an ass towards her. I'm kind of confused right now. On another note, she ended up going to prom with someone as friends, which I still find funny. My question is next year we are going to be in the same art class, and I know there will not be many people there. I'm a senior, this is pretty much senior class only. So to spare my other friends who was a girl from me only talking to her, I should apologize to the girl. I was a dick as to what? Okay, this is like broken down to nonsensical. I don't understand
All right, I
what you're
got
saying.
this.
You got it? Do it.
You, sir, you are in high school. Life goes on. Do not worry about this one girl. It will eat you it will eat you from the inside. It does not feel good. I can tell you that from experience. Do not worry about this. You can be friends with her, and but if you want more, eh, I'm sorry, but it does not look that way. If she's gonna be, even if you were a dick to her, and but that one little phrase, someone I can be more than friends with, is a is a dick, and as light as it sounds, it's a very dick move. I say I have to agree with your dad. I don't say blow it off, but I think that he's actually right. I think that you should leave it alone. And
Yeah.
like I said, you're in high school, dude. You got one more year of high school, and then you got to go to college, and that's when all the women's.
There are more women in college than there are men in college. Let me put it that way. So you're in high school, right? Don't in high. So thinking back to high school, when there was a girl I was interested in, it consumed everything I did. Like all my thought. I mean, when I wasn't playing StarCraft, to be honest, all I would do was think about the girls I was interested in. It was like all consuming. So it's very easy for us to sit back here and be like, and for your dad to sit back and be like, don't worry about her because we already know not to worry about it. But for you, honestly, literally, dude, try and move past it. If you're really getting caught up over a girl, it's by obsessing over it, you're only going to cause yourself more harm. Obsessing over something will almost never bring something good out of it, except unless this is like an academic pursuit, in which case you do need to obsess. Or if you're like doing StarCraft or doing a job, then obsession is good. But in relationships, obsession is bad. So I'm not saying you're obsessed, so please don't take it that way, but take a step back. There's clearly this is a little bit weird. This girl kind of slighted you by asking you out and was like, "Actually, sorry, I want to go out with him because I want to be more than friends with him." That's kind of a fucked up thing to do, all right? So she's in the wrong here, but don't worry about it. Forget it. Move on. Like that's really the best that the best that you can do here.
Yeah, focus on something else, man. Like I
Yeah.
remember when I was in high school, I played a lot, and I still do. I played so many video games, and that's what I focused on. Like I played Battlefield 2 and World of Warcraft, and I zoned out, did my homework, did that, and that's all it was. Focused on something else because before I got into all that, the year before, for lack of a better term, I had my heart broken, and it sucked because I was obsessed with that girl. So coming from experience, being obsessed with that, and then just zoning back into video games
Hmm.
helped me a lot. And now it's like it, it's something I would never give up. So this is like you're right in that time where you're figuring out your hobbies and you're figuring out what you love to do and what you want to do for the rest of your life and be happy about it. Obsessing over this girl isn't going to make you happy. That's the ultimate goal in life, right? Is to be happy and to live your life with be full and rich in your life. Focus on something that's going to make you happy and don't obsess over this girl or any other girl for that matter. It's not worth it.
Yeah, definitely. Um, we have about 4 minutes left in the show. Does anyone else have any questions? Because this is actually a fairly nice timing to end on. But everyone's talking about DOMA and Prop 8. And I know that DOMA was struck down, but I actually didn't hear anything about Prop 8. I've been waiting on that.
Prop 8 is I
Did the
believe
Supreme Court rule on that already?
Supreme Court I believe ruled on it and said it was unconstitutional. I want to
Really?
say
When?
guarded
Shit,
under
I
like the Fifth Amendment or something.
fucking missed that in the news. Um, no, not on Prop 8. I don't know. We got multiple things going in. I'll take a look at it later.
We'll know next week.
Next week? Yeah, next week we'll bring you, well, 2 weeks from now, because we do every other week. Next week is
2 weeks.
one-shots. Yeah. So, I think that's our show for today. Thank you guys for being here. If you have any questions that you'd like us to answer, send me an email at koibu@regalgoblins.com or a PM on Twitch, but send the email. You can also follow me at Koibu0. Where can they follow you, Julian? How do they get in touch with you?
My Twitter is Julian R Collins at Julian R Collins. I put out all of my content. It's mostly League of Legends related. I know most of this is StarCraft. You can catch us both on Wednesdays.
Wednesdays
Mafia.
for Mafia. And
I
anything
one more
else?
plug for me.
Oh, go ahead,
Yeah.
plug it.
Vulcan, Team Vulcan from League of Legends. If you are a League of Legends fan, Sunday is going to be doing a all-day stream marathon, so you can focus on that. We'll have a post up on the League of Legends subreddit. Most all of our players are going to be doing that, fan games, all that sort of thing. So please tune in there.
Yeah.
And
What, Julian? Why are
Ye-
you so sexy? They say in
Yukashaz,
chat.
it's good to see you, sir. It's the beard. I learned it from my really good friend of mine. He said the beard was godlike, so I grew it out.
Okay, cool. So we'll see you guys next time. We will do some Killing Koibu in a little bit. I got some work to do first. See you guys later. Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.